I'm also seeing Pavan Verma join us. Pavan, good morning. Coming to you in just a moment. I'll just let Matthew Anthony of the Congress make some points. Go ahead, Matthew.
Yeah. Barkha, I think I have been one against many here. And what I'm saying is, on the Panoti, when all the respected panelists are making so much of a concern about that one, why don't you recollect the kind of statements which the Prime Minister, when he was the Chief Minister and as the Prime Minister, made against many of the Congress leaders, including respected Sonia Gandhi, as well as many others? I stop it at that on that one. Have some reflection on that. Okay, I don't want to get into a debate on that Panoti remark right now because this is the election debate. So I'll kind of move on from there. Reflect yourself before you speak on that one. What all remarks he has made on the people of the Congress leaders. Now coming back to the elections response, on Tavleen May, the people in the glass doors have not recalled, even she found it difficult to recall the name of the Yatra, Bharat Jodo Yatra, which has touched 4,000 kilometers and touched billions of people in the heart. It has touched the poorest of the poorest in the country. So it may not have touched the people in the glass
We're
towers,
seeing the results.
Let me complete. I didn't interrupt any one of you when you spoke. So Bharat Jodo Yatra is a message which conveyed that it's love against hate. So we have to give the respect for the Yatra. Bharat Jodo Yatra didn't have the electoral politics in that one. It was just giving a message of harmony, love against hate on that one. Then Asif, commented about the Congress leaders' grassroots work and all other things like that. We have had many Congress leaders who have been in the Congress but never worked in the grassroots. But they speak about the grassroots workers when they move into other parties. So Congress also had convened state conventions, and I would like to say that in Madhya Pradesh, when Prime Minister Modi convened the state convention, he failed to acknowledge or he snubbed the presence of the chief minister. Then the Ladli program, which was announced long back, implemented in the last few months of the election, and the beneficiaries are 1.32 crores of women. And if at all you have to give 1,250 rupees, it's a 1,600 crores of exchequer a month. So where are these going to come from? So you made promises and things like that. So in Madhya Pradesh, you're saying that and Shivraj Singh's message was almost like a farewell message. And you put seven. I didn't interrupt.
No. I'm.
Okay. I have to come in. I have to come in with an update now, and I have to get Pavan Verma. The Congress workers are protesting at the party headquarters against EVMs, which I don't know why this is happening, because the Congress has one of the same EVMs resoundingly in Telangana. निखिल जी, आप एक पॉइंट बोलना चाह रहे थे मध्य प्रदेश के बारे में. देन आई हैव टू गो टू पवन वर्मा. प्लीज संक्षेप में अगर आप बोले. निखिल जी, निखिल को अनम्यूट
करिए. दो चीजें हैं. एक तो जो अभी आप जैसे बोल रहे थे कि लाडली बहना वाला, तो कांग्रेस भी तो पूरे कैंपेन में कहीं ना कहीं उसके पीछे भागती रही. बीजेपी ने अपना एक कैंपेन डिजाइन किया जो एक जीत का बड़ा कारण है, और कांग्रेस उसके पीछे भागती रही. दूसरा एक जो बड़ा इंपॉर्टेंट पॉइंट है मध्य प्रदेश को लेकर के, कि 15 महीने की कांग्रेस की सरकार का कांग्रेस कोई अचीवमेंट यहां नहीं बता पाई. उल्टा ये हुआ कि 2003 के पहले का मध्य प्रदेश लोगों को बार बार बीजेपी ने याद दिलाया. तो कांग्रेस के पास में अचीवमेंट बताने के लिए कुछ नहीं था, सिर्फ वो बीजेपी के कैंपेन को काउंटर करने में लगी रही. वो एक बड़ा कारण है जो कांग्रेस को खुद को सोचना चाहिए.
जी, ये आपने बहुत जरूरी 2-3 बातें कही. मैं आप पवन वर्मा को इस कॉन्वर्सेशन में लाना चाहती हूँ. पवन, द बिग पिक्चर इज लाइक दिस. द BJP has captured what Sandeep Ghosh is calling the Hindi-speaking market, North India. The Congress has a dramatic win in Telangana, but will be devastated by the result in Madhya Pradesh. And if Chhattisgarh also goes into the BJP kitty, we haven't called Chhattisgarh yet, but we are calling Madhya Pradesh and Rajasthan for the BJP, Telangana for the Congress. What is the message overall politically from your perch?
2 or 3 lessons, Barkha, which I think are incontrovertible. First of all, the Congress. You see, there is no substitute for organizational vigor. You have to build an organization structured from the ground upwards in order to be able to fight electoral battles effectively. One Bharat Jodo Yatra with little follow-up on the ground does not create for you a counter to the remarkable electoral machine of the BJP. That's point number one. And the Congress has to understand that. Secondly, in my view, the star campaigner of the BJP was Prime Minister Narendra Modi. As you know, in Rajasthan, they did not declare a face. In Madhya Pradesh, did not declare a face. But am aware of a survey which shows that Prime Minister Modi's popularity in Rajasthan is greater than Gujarat. So, therefore, that has an influencing factor. Thirdly, I think there has been a policy, at least in Rajasthan, of one government following the other. And Chief Minister Gehlot made a valiant effort to retain his popularity. But frankly, there were too many internal divisions within the Congress in Rajasthan, which the leadership or high command, if you prefer to call it, at the center, dilly-dallied with it for too long, dealt with it in the most amateur fashion, and allowed things to simmer to a point where, again, the organization of the party was either demoralized or disorganized. So that is point number two. Point number three, to my mind, is that there are three leaders in various parties who are in various moods of happiness and unhappiness. I think Sachin Pilot may not be too unhappy. He stands.
Explain that a little bit for those who don't follow politics very closely.
No, he stands vindicated that the Congress needed a revamp in Rajasthan, a new infusion of leadership, a new face, and he was, in spite of many promises to the contrary, sidelined. You will remember that it was largely his efforts which brought the Congress back in 2018. So he stands vindicated. I think Vasundhara Raje may not be very happy because, in spite of the fact that she was not declared the chief minister and was probably marginalized, although later in some form accommodated, and the perception in her mind that she is not among the top favorites of the two people who matter in the BJP. The BJP has romped home with a very decisive victory. The third person is Mr. Shivraj Singh Chauhan, who's in a new mood of vindication, where, in a sense, the BJP High Command thought that either he's getting too powerful, belongs to the old Advani Vajpayee era, or that his popularity has diminished. And I don't think that has been shown in this. So there are these three things. The last point I want to make, just a last point quickly. You see, there is now clearly emerging a north-south divide. North of the Vindhyas, you have the BJP's essential catchment area. These are population dense areas, so there are more seats there. South of the Vindhyas, the inroads of the BJP are highly limited. And let me say to you that the one win that Congress has got in Telangana is not because of organizational acumen. It is because local leadership was strong and there was genuine fatigue. Fatigue and a mood for change in Telangana after 10 years of KCR and the family rule, and notwithstanding the fact that he has done a lot for Telangana. So, therefore, in Congress, in Telangana, Congress seems to have come by default, more or less, and they fought a good battle. But that is broadly, in my mind, the position.
Can I ask you quickly, because I want to go to Nikhil Dave, who's from Madhya Pradesh, to talk about Shivraj. But Pavan, you don't seem very impressed with how the Congress has run these campaigns. And if there was one thing these are thoughts, of course, of the BJP celebrating, if there's one thing that you would urge the Congress to rethink in the run-up to 2024, what would it be? Just for context, Yogendra Yadav, whom you know is a Congress supporter now, he said on this program that he thought there was a dissonance on the issues that Rahul Gandhi raises. For example, Adani. He said none of the Congress chief ministers want to raise that issue. He said Rahul Gandhi talks about caste census, the cadres don't. There is a dissonance. And the second point he made was alliances, that there weren't enough alliances, that the Congress overestimated itself. Though, just to bring that into context, if there was one thing you would say the Congress needs to do differently, learning from the BJP and how it's run these campaigns, what would it be? I can't hear you. I'm so sorry.
Sorry.
We just, yeah.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
I would say two things very clearly. Leadership and organization. Leadership and organization. You see, Mr. Rahul Gandhi is well-meaning. But Mr. Rahul Gandhi, surrounded by those close to him who have never won an election, in spite of Mr. Kharge rules the roost, and Mr. Kharge is an extremely experienced grassrooted politician. But he has been made president too late. And therefore, you have a situation where the Congress is in the stranglehold of, in my mind, an inept leadership and lacks the will to do the difficult job of revamping and organizing the party. So that is its weakness.
So you just made a very strong statement. The Congress is in the stranglehold of inept leadership. Is there anyone you see in the opposition bloc who you think is fit to lead the campaign instead of Rahul Gandhi? Or are you talking about somebody else leading the Congress?
No. I think that, first of all, in the Congress, there should be a rethink, not about the lack of importance of the Gandhi family. They have contributed a lot to the Congress. They have given their blood for the nation. But there must be delegation in substantial and real senses to leadership and a far more transparent decision-making process, a more, let's say, interactive discussion and debate. I mean, there are matters which are allowed to pend for months. Take, for instance, this India Alliance Barkha. If it had to show some results during these elections, you meet in Patna in June. You do nothing for 4 weeks. You meet again in Bengaluru. You have a nice dinner and do nothing. 5 weeks later, you meet in Mumbai. You have dinner and coffee and do nothing. Then you cancel Bhopal. Now, where is the organization? If you were efficient, within 1 week of the first meeting in Patna, you would have set up a secretariat, come out with a common minimum program, made a working group on seat sharing, swallowed some egos, begun to create an atmosphere where the opposition was seen to be as a coherent, electorally effective bloc. But that never happened, and I'm afraid in this process, the Congress carries much of the burden of failure.
Well, I think those are very strong words, that the Congress is in the stranglehold of inept leadership. I want to take that to Matthew of the Congress, but also Nikhil Dave, because Pavan made a very incisive point about Shivraj Singh Chauhan, and I think Sandeep is also waiting, so is Mr. Bhamla. So let's get reactions. Yes, Matthew, go ahead. Matthew Anthony of the Congress, go ahead.
Barkha, to hold the respect of your platform, that's why I'm not interfering while others are speaking and taking so much of things against Congress. But I would rather say that just because in few states our election performances are not coming up to the expectations, it doesn't mean that our leadership is in strangleholds. We had an elected president in the Congress party, which is Mallikarjun Kharge, and we have recently got the CWC in place. and we have got, and Pavan made a statement of saying that people who have not contested, are making opinions about, in Rahul Gandhi's team. Now, how many of us have contested elections, and we make so much of remarks and analysis about elections. I, being a part of, being in Mizoram for the last 3 months, and I know about several hundreds of people in all these 5 states working, giving up their everything and working for the party and building the organization. Just because we didn't win the seats, this doesn't mean that we don't have an organization in place. There are certain things which might not have worked with us, or which might not have worked with the people. That doesn't mean that we don't have an organization in place.
But what would you? But Matthew, what would you identify as the weakness then? What would you identify as the weakness?
We need to see what has been the disconnect between our messaging and what the people have perceived, about our messaging. That's exactly what we have to look into, because none of our campaigns, messaging and construct and the promises were bad in any of these states. So we will have to look at it, how the feedback system from the people, whether it has reached or has got any feedback against us. That is the disconnect which we have to kind of look into it, and that's why we'll have to rework again. Yeah.
Sorry,
yes,
I will put this to Pavan. There is Rahul Gandhi being made an easy punching bag, but Nikhil Dave is wanting to come in. Can I just bring in Nikhil Dave for a second? Nikhil Dave, Pavan वर्मा ने बहुत इंटरेस्टिंग बात की शिवराज सिंह चौहान मामा जी के बारे में, कि जिस तरह से उनको साइडलाइन किया था, उन्होंने अपनी पोजीशन, अपनी रेलेवेंस दिखा दी. मैं जानती हूँ कि इसके बारे में पार्टी शायद बहुत कुछ नहीं कह सकती, समर्थक होने के नाते आप भी नहीं कह सकते, पर आपको लगता है कि मामा जी को उसके साथ बेटर बर्ताव होना चाहिए था? एक सवाल. दूसरा सवाल, आपको लगता है कि अब उन्हीं को मुख्यमंत्री बनना चाहिए? निखिल जी.
मैम देखिए, एक बात तो ये कि किसी को साइडलाइन नहीं किया. शिवराज जी को अगर सीएम फेस नहीं थे तो पार्टी ने कभी ये नहीं कहा कि वो सीएम फेस नहीं है. ये पार्टी की स्ट्रेटेजी थी. उसने सभी लीडर्स को चुनाव लड़वाया और ये हमेशा होते आया है भारतीय जनता पार्टी में. तो ऐसा कहीं नहीं है कि उनको साइडलाइन किया. सबसे ज्यादा सभाएं मध्य प्रदेश में शिवराज सिंह चौहान जी ने करी है. जिस लाडली बहना को हम गेम चेंजर मान रहे हैं, वो गेम चेंजर शिवराज जी के चेहरे पर वो वोट गया है. कहीं ना कहीं इस बात को सब लोग मानते हैं. और ये पार्टी का डिसीजन है कि पार्टी किसको मुख्यमंत्री बनाती है, किसे कौन सा मंत्रिमंडल मिलता है. ये सब बहुत, और बीजेपी में ये सारी चीजें मुझे लगता है कि शायद कैलकुलेट नहीं की जाती हैं. इसीलिए बीजेपी आज इतनी स्ट्रांगली अपने ऑर्गेनाइजेशन के दम पर चुनाव लड़ती है, चाहे फिर मुख्यमंत्री का चेहरा कोई भी हो. यहाँ हम, जैसा प्राइम मिनिस्टर मोदी जी कहते हैं कि हमारा चेहरा कमल का फूल है, हमारा मुख्यमंत्री प्रधानमंत्री कमल का फूल है, तो उसी थॉट के साथ में बीजेपी काम करती है. एक दूसरी चीज में जो ऐड करना चाहता हूँ, ऑर्गेनाइजेशन स्ट्रक्चर की जो बात हो रही है बीजेपी और कांग्रेस की दोनों में, तो जैसा अभी हमारे कांग्रेस के मित्र बता रहे थे कि कांग्रेस के पास में ऑर्गेनाइजेशन है, बीजेपी के पास में है नहीं है. देखिए मैम, एक बड़ा जो अंतर आया है वो ये है कि शायद बीजेपी ने अपने वोटर को वर्कर की तरह कन्वर्ट कर लिया है. बीजेपी की एक बड़ी आइडियोलॉजिकल जीत है ये, कि उसका जो वोटर है वो खुद प्रचार करता है. और दूसरा, कांग्रेस के साथ में जो सबसे बड़ा नुकसान है वो ये है कि कांग्रेस का जो वर्कर था, अब वो अपने आप को वोटर भी कांग्रेस का कहने में शर्माता है, संकोच करता है. तो ये एक कांग्रेस के, आपके पास में हो सकता है ऑर्गेनाइजेशन होगा, आपके पास में वर्कर्स होंगे, लेकिन वो वर्कर क्यों नहीं निकल रहे हैं, इसकी आप लोगों को चिंता करना चाहिए.
ये आपने एक बहुत इंटरेस्टिंग बात की on organization and the response of the worker. I want quick responses from Mr. Bhamla and Sandeep Ghosh, and then I want to go back to Pavan, because he's been very harsh on harsh scathing critique of Rahul Gandhi, but also very interesting appraisal. Sandeep, do you want to take that of the three leaders? Pavan, Sachin Pilot, not too unhappy, would be vindicated. Shivraj Singh Chauhan would be vindicated. And what did you say about Vasundhara? I missed that, Pavan. I want Pavan to just repeat his point about Vasundhara. Can we unmute him, please? Can we unmute Pavan?
I just said that
Pavan, yeah.
Vasundhara, who's a very dear friend and has been a competent chief minister, must have realized that her relevance to the leadership or the consequences of what she might perceive to be marginalization have not affected the results of the BJP on the ground.
So, but the Pavan, the assumption in Rajasthan is if it's a slender win, she still gets to be chief minister. If it's a comfortable win, she's out in the cold.
And I don't think she'll be out in the cold.
Well, she won't be CM.
At least you see, the I won't call it redundancy, but the fact is that the High Command is fully in control of what happens in Rajasthan next.
That's right. I think that's very perceptive on those three leaders. Sandeep, coming? Can't hear you. I'm so sorry.
Sorry. I'm not differing with Pavan, but I'll just try to give a slightly, varied perspective. First of all, Sachin Pilot. I think Sachin Pilot will have reasons to be extremely unhappy. He could not, right now he is really caught in no man's land. His utility for BJP has been severely damaged, and therefore, because he is no longer valuable for him to, whereas Gehlot has given a reasonably good fight despite him. He remains the tallest leader of Congress in Rajasthan. And for a variety of reasons, including Rajasthan has been a cash cow for Congress, they will not be able to totally replace Gehlot in the. So Sachin Pilot is neither here nor there. Vasundhara Raje, my own reading is BJP struck some kind of an understanding. There was a visit by Amit Shah, after which they met, and she seemed to have been placated. And my sense is that placating is not with the promise of chief ministership. It is with the promise of something else. First of all, her son has been propped up, though he's not a chief minister candidate. Rising star there, and she there, and maybe they can accommodate her with some kind of other thing, whether a position in the center or something. So I think she is kind of would be reconciled to the fact that okay, now it's time for her to move on to another stage. This is my reading on these two people primarily. And I will take another position as far as Pavan is concerned. I personally believe the Congress, for good or for bad, can't do without the Gandhis. The Congress in this thing. Even if you see, for whatever it's worth, in the campaigning this time, it is Rahul Gandhi and Priyanka Gandhi who really raised some degree of excitement. And everybody around today, even if you give them the full power, they are not capable of really running the party on their own steam. None of them have really got a base. See, like Kamal Nath, even if he can't deliver Madhya Pradesh, what will he do? In Madhya Pradesh, who's his Betanoya? It is Digvijay Singh. So you've got so many such people, and the people who are really calling the shots today in Congress are people who I believe handles the communication department. People talking about Bharat Jodo.
I mean the U2 song, right? Can't live with or without you. I think it's the Congress situation with the Gandhi. I mean, not that anyone's saying we can't live with you. I know Matthew will take objection to that. But
Bharat Jodo Yatra reminds us, somebody I spoke very senior in Congress, I don't want to name, in Madhya Pradesh, who reminded me of the Sarojini Naidu statement of how much it costs us to keep Bapu poor. And they said that तुम तो वही देखते हो कि जो मीडिया में रिपोर्ट करते हैं, तुम्हें पता नहीं उसके ऊपर हमारा कितना खर्चा हो जाता है. So many people traveling, उसका देखभाल करो, उसको खाना पीना कराओ, और उसमें what is the benefit the state is receiving? So they are into a different mode. Okay. They have to reinvent themselves.
I'm so sorry. I'm cutting you short. Karthik, very briefly. Aarti Jairat is with us. Sriram Kari is with us. Pavan Verma is still with us. So is Matthew Anthony, Nikhil Dave, Asif Bhamla. The numbers, we have called this election for the BJP in Madhya Pradesh and Rajasthan, the Congress in Telangana. What is happening with Chhattisgarh? Karthik, quickly.
Chhattisgarh, Barkha, a quick and dirty analysis is Chhattisgarh BJP, going the BJP way. The only reason why I have been a little cagey about it is because we knew it would be a keenly contested fight and seats could flip here and there. It's not like a washout for the Congress either, right? It's currently 53 to 36. Yeah, exactly. Now you may call this is a washout, but if 5-6 seats flip here and there, things could change. But I think we are in a position where very soon we can call this for the BJP because these trends have held and they've held for a long time now. It's not that these trends have just emerged. So I think this is almost ready to be called in favor of the BJP.
So the way it's looking,
5 seats of Telangana, others, how many of them are AIMM?
Yeah, we need the MIM breakdown. I've been asking for it for a while. If we can please look at that quickly. But meanwhile, I have to give some.
MIM is
Can
One
I
minute,
come in?
everybody. 1 minute, Mr. Bhavna. 1 minute. Do you have the MIM numbers? Karthikeya, why are you
MIM
pulling?
as per the election commission is 4 seats.
Now that is down for MIM. I want to actually, and can we please update our slides with the MIM actually represented there separately? If we can quickly do that. I have to give credit to Sriram Kari for one thing. Last week on this program, he said, I am calling the election for Congress in Telangana. I don't know about all the other Panditri, Sriram, but congratulations are owed to you. And it's the only state that has good news today for the Congress. Sriram, what's happening there and what's happening with the MIM? There, we have the leads for the MIM. Very interesting. Sriram, unmute yourself before you speak. The MIM stranglehold in the Hyderabad region appears to have been broken by the Congress as well. Go ahead, Sriram.
Barkha, the only reason I correctly called the state of Telangana for you is because despite knowing that I am from Chhattisgarh and MP, you did not ask me for my predictions on those two states.
What do you
Otherwise,
mean?
I would have got 3 out of
You're being
4.
sarcastic. You're being sarcastic.
No. 17 of my classmates, seniors or juniors are fighting for Congress or BJP in MP. 7
Acha.
candidates in Chhattisgarh across 2 parties. I was born in Chhattisgarh, which was then MP. I studied in MP. My own
Oh my
classmates.
God. I didn't know that. I didn't know that.
Nobody asked because I'm based in Hyderabad. I'm a poor colonial cousin now. Pay me off distance.
Let's come back to the politics. What's going on with the MIM? What's going on with the sweep? What happens to BRS now? The
MIM
BJP
was
has
down.
hang on. The BJP has improved its vote share. Go ahead. Make sense of Telangana for us.
Well, there's only one set of people who can stop the Modi juggernaut in India today, and that's the state Telangana BJP leaders. Give it to them, Barkha. That they have defied the Modi wave, the possibility of the resurgence of BJP. If anybody can stop Mr. Narendra Modi and Mr. Amit Shah, it's the Telangana state BJP leadership. Everybody in the country should acknowledge that. Having said that, the MIM is down to 3. Nampally and Malakpet are going to Congress, and MIM swinging rapidly round on round. And 2 seats, Karwan and which is the 4th one? Yakutpura and Karwan are going to BJP. So half the Lok Sabha, 4 out of 7 seats, MIM is fighting for the first time in 30 years with a possibility of defeat looming large. This is the beer hug of KCR that brought MIM down. The perception that KCR was with BJP and Modi, the perception that MIM was also with Modi and Mr. Amit Shah, and that together all of them are huddled together, is KCR was coming 3rd in Kamareddy, behind Revant Reddy of Congress and the BJP candidate Venkat Reddy in Karimnagar.
Yeah.
KCR was also trailing in his core constituency of Gajwel, though is now back to leading. Revant is winning both seats. So what we are witnessing is something extraordinary, but not at all surprising.
Okay, there's a lot to unpack here. I do want to actually say bye to guests who've been with us and welcome our new guests in. Mr. Bhavna, a quick comment before we say goodbye to you. Quick comment before we say thank you to you, Mr. Bhavna.
Before we conclude, all I would like to say is that irrespective which way the state assembly contest, of course, we'll know in a few moments from now. Today, one thing is clear, that the economic growth momentum that was created by the Honorable PM during his 2nd term, the narrative, the vision, towards a developed India by 2047 have seen no political counter. Let me tell you that there has been no political opponents or no opposition to his plan, to his roadmap, and to his role modelship. So beyond regressive ideas, to just create, to create a consensus and a list of freebies, there is nothing much the opposition has been able to offer to the ruling arrangement. And we are not very happy about it, because we also want a strong opposition. But we see that they're not able to counter by giving
Okay,
anything
Mr. Bhavna.
by bringing
Thank
anything
you.
to the table,
Thank
by
you.
just making conscious, by
Okay.
just providing holistic feedback.
I have to welcome my other guests. I'm going to say thank you to you now. If 30 seconds are want to be made by Sandeep and
Barkha, I would
Matthew,
like to make a statement
Yeah.
before I leave.
Yes, please, Matthew.
Okay, I
Please.
just want to make a statement that Congress party is proud to have Gandhi's family with us. We have no shame at all, irrespective of however the propaganda is to beat a family down, because the sacrifices made by the family and the popularity of the family with the country's people is very significant. And then we have fought a good battle. We had our promises good. We had a good campaign. We will accept the results, but that doesn't mean that we are in a bad position, we are in a wrong organization or anything of that sort. We are here to serve the people of this country, and we are very clear about it. Thank you, and
Okay,
thank
Matthew,
you, Barkha,
okay.
for taking me here.
Thank you, Matthew. Take care. Sandeep, last thoughts before we let you go, and then we move on.
Before signing off, to tell Karthik, you can call the Telangana elections, but don't as yet call who will form the government. That's it.
Really? You still think that's an open question, Sandeep? Looking at the numbers in Telangana? Can I just go back? Can I go back? Hang on. Sriram is fighting vociferously. Sriram, you want to come in? Actually, hold that thought. I want Pavan, before we lose Pavan, we've got a new hour starting. I want to welcome our new guest, Nischay Bajpai. Sandeep, feel free to stay on if you have a few minutes. Nischay Bajpai of the BJP. Namaskar. Namaskar, sir. आपकी ये जो आंकड़े हैं, मैं छत्तीसगढ़ के बारे में 2 मिनट के बाद बात करना चाहूंगी. आप हमारे साथ बने रहिए. Pavan and Aarti, I want big pictures from you. Pavan, Aarti, Pavan just said that the Congress is in the stranglehold of inept leadership. He also
I will
said,
leave.
Okay, Sandeep, thank you. He also said, Aarti, that 3 leaders, he said Vasundhara has realized that sidelining her didn't make a difference to the BJP. Shivraj is vindicated. Sachin is not unhappy. Do you want to add to that perspective? And very strong words he made about the Congress leadership. Aarti?
See, Barkha, if we compare the way the BJP approached these elections, Congress approached these elections, the Congress took the Karnataka template and decided to use that in all the states, except Telangana, where it actually promoted a new leader, a new face, Revant Reddy. But in Chhattisgarh, in Madhya Pradesh, and in Rajasthan, it just took the Karnataka template and just, put it in place in these states and decided local for vocal or whatever, and, promoted local leaders and so on. Completely forgetting that if you look at the vintage of these leaders, except for Bhupesh Baghel, who's younger and newer, Kamal Nath, Digvijay Singh, Ashok Gehlot, they all belong to the 1977-1980 vintage. But they are, leaders who are probably past their expiry date. They're all in their 70s, nothing new to offer, nothing new to say. They ran tired campaigns, offering sops, as if you can just buy voters with, by throwing rarity at them. It doesn't work like that. The BJP, on the other hand, is so agile. It is, although the BJP has in the past promoted local faces and projected state leaderships as CM aspirants, this time they decided to go with collective leadership. They decided to bring in leaders from the center, put them back in the state, and they relied on brand Modi. Modi was the face of the campaign. He led the charge. He led from the front. Look at the number of rallies he addressed in Madhya Pradesh. He has never addressed so many rallies in the state election, except maybe UP, because UP is a larger state. So, they just changed their strategy. You see, they think on their feet. The Congress, unfortunately, lacks that ability to, do fresh thinking, to come up with new strategies. One thing works somewhere, they use the same strategy somewhere else, and they've paid for it. So, I think really hats off to the BJP for being able to pull this off. This is entirely, whatever you may say about Ladli Behna and all, I'm sure it contributed, but the BJP has never won so big in Madhya Pradesh. And I would say that a large part of the credit for the BJP's victory in Madhya Pradesh and the turnaround in Rajasthan, the fact that they won it, and possibly are in position to win Chhattisgarh, this is entirely due to Narendra Modi. So he is now the man in charge. He has also established his dominance in North India. I would hesitate to talk about a North-South divide at this point of time, but what he tried in Karnataka did not work in Karnataka, but it worked really well in North India. So, clearly Modi is very much.
And I want to say to Pavan, just a question to Pavan, Shruti Kapila, who's professor at Cambridge University, welcome to the program. Manu Sharma is back with us. Nishchay ji, मैं आपके पास 2 minute में आ रही हूँ. Pavan, picking up on what Aarti said, Pandits got it wrong. All of us went on about, the BJP hasn't learned from its mistakes in Karnataka. Why is it sidelining Shivraj? Why is it sidelining Vasundhara? Why does it not recognize that state elections are different from national elections? All commonsensical questions. We didn't understand. What did we not understand? And when I say we, I'm using the we loosely. Generally, pundits and journalists, not anyone in particular. Pavan?
What we did not understand is that the only way you can counter the BJP is by 3 things. First of all, a new grassroots leader. Secondly, a new face. And thirdly, organizational rigor. If you don't have these, I'm sorry, very sorry. Fourthly, a new and alternative comprehensible vision with the ability to carry it out to the masses. If you don't have these 4,
but where is this face? Where is this face? Can you pick a face instead of the face that you have? You've said Rahul Gandhi is inept.
No.
Who is the face?
No, I said broadly that the Congress is lacking organization and it has inept leadership because there is no organizational feedback. So therefore, I feel that among the faces that we see today, we have strong and competent leaders at the regional level. But there is no pan-Indian leader who has all of these 4 qualities with a pan-Indian footprint. So long as that is there, the BJP with its electoral machine, with the face, with the narrative, and an ideology is not defeated.
Okay, Pavan, stay as long as you can. Thank you for those insights. Are you finally calling Chhattisgarh? Because मुझे निश्चय जी से बात करनी है जो बीजेपी के नेता हैं छत्तीसगढ़ से. Please मुझे छत्तीसगढ़ के बारे में बता दीजिए.
Chhattisgarh can be called for the BJP Barkha, but can I just make a point? I think we have to take things into a little perspective. When you are saying your question per se, when you say that this was the Prime Minister's election, what did we see not coming? They have won. I would say that there are 2 different kinds of victories here. Rajasthan and MP are not the same kinds of victories. The Rajasthan victory, which is largely a product of the Prime Minister and the BJP symbol, is not as convincing. Again, I will just harp on that. If the BJP had put in a state leader with credibility, with a past track record, probably this number would have been 130, 140.
But can I ask you something? Are we now saying that the BJP has taken 3 of the 4 states? Are we now formally calling it?
We are calling it, but I'm making an additional point.
I got your point. And I want Pavan and Aarti to respond to it. That no 2 states are alike. लेकिन निश्चय जी, नमस्कार. और आंकड़ों के मुताबिक बीजेपी की लीड 53 में, कांग्रेस के 35 में. ये कैसे हुआ? बहुत लोगों ने कहा था कि भाई बघेल साहब की ही विक्ट्री है. रमन सिंह को भी मुख्यमंत्री कैंडिडेट को कभी डिक्लेयर नहीं किया. इन आंकड़ों को आप किस तरह से देखते हैं निश्चय जी?
देखिए, हमारे यहाँ जो भूपेश बघेल जी की सरकार रही है वो विज्ञापन की सरकार रही है, और विज्ञापन के माध्यम से उन्होंने एक ऐसा दृश्य बनाने का प्रयास किया कि वो बहुत लोकप्रिय हैं और बहुत लोकहितकारी काम कर रहे हैं, जबकि वस्तुतः वो केवल हर क्षेत्र में घोटाले कर रहे थे. ये सच्चाई जिसको यहाँ की जनता जानती थी. उसके साथ साथ इन्होंने यहाँ के जनता के साथ, सभी वर्गों के साथ जो वादे किए उससे वादा खिलाफी भी की. और सबसे बड़ी बात यह है कि महिलाओं के साथ जिस तरह की शराबबंदी का वादा किया था, लेकिन शराब की अवैध बिक्री को इतना बढ़ाया कि हर घर उससे प्रभावित हुआ. और महिला समूहों को काम छीनने से लेकर के उनके रोजगार छीनने से लेकर ग्रामीण स्थिति बहुत खराब रही, महिलाओं के बीच में बहुत आक्रोश था। ऐसे ही युवाओं के साथ में इन्होंने जो है जिस तरीके से पीएससी के पद अपने परिवारों में बांटे और अपने बेचने का काम किया, उसके साथ-साथ जितने माफिया और अपराधी हैं उनको बढ़ाने का काम किया, इसको लेकर के जनता के बीच में बहुत आक्रोश था और ये परिणाम पहले से ही बड़ा सुस्पष्ट था हम लोगों के बीच में। मगर विज्ञापनों की चकाचौंध में और आतिशबाजी में संभवतः ये दूसरे लोगों को नहीं सुनाई दे रहा था। वो परिणाम के रूप में अभी सामने आ रहा है।
मैं आपसे पूछना चाहूंगी कि अगर मतलब बीजेपी की सरकार तो बनते हुए दिख रही है, मुख्यमंत्री कौन बनेगी?
देखिए, मुख्यमंत्री का निर्णय तो संसदीय दल में होगा और विधायक दल में बैठ के निर्णय होगा। ये इसके लिए थोड़ी प्रतीक्षा करनी होगी।
निश्चित हमारे साथ बने रहिए। अश्विनी शाही बीजेपी के नेता है, वो भी हमारे साथ है, लेकिन मैं चाहती हूँ कि पवन वर्मा कार्तिकी बत्रा का पॉइंट उठाएं। इट्स अ वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट पॉइंट पवन, इट्स अ वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट पॉइंट दैट you and Aarti have clubbed all three states is the point he's making, that none of these victories are simply explained. There are different factors. I think that's the point, Karthik, you're making, right? That there are different factors at play in all three states. So when you generalize and you say it's the Congress's inept leadership, it's the Modi factor, he's saying that formula may not work as neatly.
No, let me clarify what I was saying. That in Rajasthan.
Sorry, Pavan, last comment. You can go after that. Karthik, quickly.
I was saying in Rajasthan, Vasundhara Raje was kept on the back burner until the end. But in Madhya Pradesh, Mr. Chauhan was brought into the campaign as its face in the last few stages.
But not formally, but not officially.
No, but he was the one written. Everybody saw him because he took charge. If you look at the last two lists also of the Madhya Pradesh.
Okay, let Pavan quickly respond. Pavan quickly respond because the others are waiting to speak. Yeah, go ahead, Pavan.
Yes, it's my last comment, Barkha. I have to go for another time.
Yeah, sure.
You see, each state is different, but the difference I think is that Telangana was different to Rajasthan and Madhya Pradesh. Now, why do I say that? In Rajasthan and Madhya Pradesh, to be honest, it is the failing of the Congress party, and I must continue to repeat like a stuck record. There is no substitution for ground level organizational rigor. You cannot win battles on slogans, on leaders, on promises, on projection. You have to have that cadre in an organized basis. How in the country, ask the Congress party, how many block development officers posts are, party posts are lying vacant for months, if not years. So that has never happened. You may have elections, but you know that the body is packed and that a person who has the temerity to stand is ostracized. So let's not be, the party needs a revamp. So Telangana, the Congress has won, and I give it credit for it, but it is largely a default victory because there was fatigue for 10 years of KCR, although he did a lot for the state. And by now, there was a mood for change. I always said that either Congress will come to a comfortable majority or the BRS will scrape through. If there is a mood for change, it's a comfortable majority. And that is what has happened in Telangana.